Hello, I'm Dave Scott Morgan, writer of the European hit Hiroshima and one-time guitarist with the Electric Light Orchestra, and this is Dave's Song Factory. Hello, thanks for joining me. We like to go over the stuff that's coming out of the factory and maybe to talk about things that have happened in the past as well, some historical stuff. And tonight we've got some oldies but goldies to go over with you, one of which is an old Uglies, a record, another real oldie, and then a newie from the new album I'm working on. Been working on that this week. I've also been working on my website, which some of you may have noticed got completely corrupted with malware, and I finally got it fixed 2 nights ago from a guy. I was on a call with him on the internet, on a Zoom call with him. He was in Italy and I'm in England, and we spent 4 hours on the phone with, just going over all these bits of the website, and we finally got it recovered. What a do! Anyway, I'm just hanging my washing out here, aren't I? So, where was I? Yeah, so I've been working on some new stuff for the album. Going to play bits of that later. And fixing my website up. But first tonight, I want to play you an old song, because I had this come not so long ago. Just check that out. Yeah, it says... well, here's the thing it came. It came in this box set like this. Look, it had a picture of the Move on the front like that, and then when I opened it up, the box up, the first record that's in there. There's 4 records in there, and the first one I saw was this one, which has got the picture of the Uglies on the front. You can see Steve Gibbons and Richard Tandy and Keithy Smart. And Willie Hammond, guitarist Willie Hammond. He's there, isn't he? Yes, so he is. And they were all there, look, and I'm there too. And there we are looking cool and mean in a picture taken back in the day. And that was this little record here has got a copy of a song called I've Seen the Light Good Night, which was recorded by the Uglies back in 1970, I think. And it never came out. It was never released. In fact, this is the first time it's been released on this record here. I tell a lie. I think it was also on a compilation record of the Uglies done in 2003. Yes, I think it was. So anyway, the point is, it never came out when it was supposed to, and that was all because the Uglies turned into another group called Balls. Yes, it was called Balls, and Balls was, all the people you see on there were in Balls except Willie Hammond. Willie Hammond, the guitarist, who he's a brilliant guitarist, but he got dropped out the group because Trevor Burton joined. Trevor from the Move, and he joined, and then Denny Lane came on board. And anyway, it's a long story, and I really don't want to go over it. But the record that we did as the Uglies never came out because of all that political stuff that went on behind the scenes. But I've been working on getting a version of it going, and I want to play it, and it because it's just a lovely song. Let me just give this an outing, okay?
Passing of a dream,
expression on your face. It didn't mean a lot to me. As long as you were there, I didn't really care. I was so in love I couldn't see. And when I think about it now, I feel I've seen it all before. And what is more, I feel as if I'm sad, and when I might, I've seen the light. I've seen the light. Good night. Future's been crossed, classified as lost, dead and buried and forgot. But nothing from the past can lift it from its cast, turn it into something that it's not. And all the memories and words only serve to drill a hole into my soul. You can take that in whichever way you like. I've seen the light. I've seen the light. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night. No, it's not good night yet. But that's good night to the lady in the song. Yeah, that was written about a relationship that went pear-shaped, as they so often do. But anyway, that's my up-and-coming version of the song. I've actually got some bits of the Uglies record in there. You probably heard a big shriek in the middle. That's Steve Gibbons shrieking, and I'll have to put my own shriek on at some point, but for the time being, it's Steve Gibbons. We'll have to have him along on these Dave Song Factory things. We'll have to have him come and sing something for us, and we did some songs together, me and Steve. In fact, when people ask me, I'm not even sure who really wrote them, whether he wrote them or I wrote them. We kind of knocked them up together, and. But anyway, that song there was one that I wrote. And, I've seen the light. I can be sure of that one. and I was really chuffed, like I say, to see it on this record. Once upon a time in the West Midlands, go out and buy it, a box set. It's got loads and loads of groups on it. It's this box thing. Look, it's got a Spencer Davis group, The Move, The Idle Race, Uglies, Moody Blues, Denny Lane, Slade, Traffic, Wizard, ELO, World of Ours, Steve Gibbons and Judas Priest, and many more, it says on the cover. I'm just reading off the cover there. That's good stuff, isn't it? I wonder what ELO did then on there. Okay, I'll have to chase that down. That's interesting. Okay, well, from I've Seen the Light, let's stay in that era, because there was a song that I did way back then that was very pivotal for me, because what happened was I did this little tune and recorded it at a local studio, and I was I was working as a storeman, selling motor car parts, and I was in the stores one day after I'd done this tune, and the phone rang, and I was called to the phone. They said, "Somebody for you, Dave." And he said, "You Dave Morgan?" I said, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Well, I'm Danny King. Have you heard of him?" I said, "Oh yeah, I've heard of you. Danny King, he's a famous local singer. He still is. But back then he was real big name. I'd heard of him, and that's how big it was. Because I mean, I wasn't really plugged into everybody on the local scene, but I had heard of Danny." And Danny King came. He said to me on the phone. He said, "Well, I've just heard this song that you've done down at Johnny Haynes' studio," and he said, "And I don't care if you're fat, ugly, if you got pimples or and a bunch of other things." He said, "But I want you in my group. Come down the Cedar Club tonight and we'll talk about it." Well, that was it. I went down the Cedar Club and we talked about it, and I joined his group sort of within a couple of days, because Trevor Burton was leaving his group to join the Move. Anyway, that was the end of me as a storeman. So this little song is to blame for everything that followed after that. Blame this little tune there. But there's a new version of it. I want to do this on an album I'm working on. Wind that blows stops the flame from burning. It's a crooked stream that flows when the memories come returning. The promises all spurning. Everyone is learning. It's an ill wind that blows. When the fire begins to smoulder, it's a crooked stream that flows. When the water's running colder, the sand has turned to boulder, everyone's grown older, and it's an ill wind that blows. Smile from the sun, and it blows so hard it takes the heart of each and everyone. It's an ill wind that blows when the world is meditating. It's a crooked stream that flows when the world is meditating. War is in the making, and everyone is shaking. It's an ill wind that blows. Yeah, it's an ill wind that blows. Those words, I just forgot some words in the last verse there. It's an ill wind that blows when the world is meditating. It's a wise man who knows the best road to be a-taking when war is in the making and everyone is shaking. Yeah, that's what I should have said. That's the song that was done in a very different way back in the day when Danny King heard it and got me in his group. We never did that song in his group, by the way, but he just loved that song. He got me to play it to him many times. But it wasn't the sort of thing that we could do at the Cedar Club where we used to play with Danny's group. And as you can see from the what it's talking about, that's a kind of a anti-war song. Yeah, that's about all I can say. It's a 60s anti-war song. There was a few of them done around that time. But I've got a song on an album I'm just bringing out, and it's a sort of anti-war song of the 2020s era. But it's kind of similar. It's a folky sort of thing, and it goes like this. I remember the day when the angel came, late September light, and he spoke to a man by the name of Stan on the edge of a nuclear night. He told him not to do just what the program said to do, while klaxons roared on the big war board and generals shouted too. But the angel calm took him by the arm and whispered soft and clear, don't act in haste, for what you face is not how it appears. He told him not to do just what the program said he should do, while klaxons roared on the big war board and generals, they all shouted too. And with voices raised and eyes ablaze, the atmosphere was thick, and every man came a-pressing on Stan to push that button quick. But the angel said, no, don't be led, there's things they can't see that soon must show the facts, and so the hero you will be. Well, the minutes passed and the sweat ran fast, but one thing is crystal clear, that the truth came through and Stan did too, 'cause we are all still here. And of that race through time and space to save humanity, well, you can check the peace was kept in 1983. And remember the day when the angel came, the late September light, and he spoke to a man by the name of Stan on the edge of a nuclear night, on the edge of a nuclear night. A man called Stan. And yeah, I wrote that song. It's a kind of anti-war song, but it's a very different sort of anti-war song, because the song came from I realised that I have a belief that angels have intervened to stop us being embroiled in a nuclear war. And one of the times, I believe, was then with that man Stanislav Petrov. You may have heard of him. But it also happened before, at least once before, and another man, Vasily Arkhipov, who was in a submarine that was being depth charged by the Americans, and he did not follow the protocol, which was to release a nuclear torpedo against that. That was... his name is Vasily Arkhipov. You can read about these people. Stanislav Petrov's quite a famous guy. There was a film made about him, I believe. But anyway, that song's about the way we've been preserved from nuclear war. because Russian people indeed, didn't follow the protocol. So I wrote that song, Remember the Day When the Angel Came, Late September Light. Okay, well that's how we doing for time? We're doing okay, look, yeah. So that's a new song for a new album I'm putting together. Not sure what the album's called, but there's a couple of songs from it. You've heard some others on previous weeks, and I'll no doubt be visiting them again. But I want to do something now that a little bit experimental. I hope it works, and that is, I'm going to play a song and try and sing it for you using the old backing track from the Earthrise album. Many of you will be familiar with the Earthrise record that Richard Tandy and myself made way back in the 80s. It was released, the best version was released in 2011 when we kind of spruced it up a bit, and that version is really good. And of course we did a conservatoire orchestral concert featuring Earthrise in 2019. That's what probably caused the pandemic, really, because it happened right after that. You know, we walked out of there and the pandemic fell. Anyway, Earthrise, yeah, a massive body of work from way back. Richard and I did a great record of it. So here's my song from Earthrise called 1000 Worlds. Let's see how we get on with this.
Traveling 1000 worlds, searching for
far behind. Traveling 1,000 worlds, searching for only one. Never so far from your love that I just can't go on. Cross 1,000 worlds, 1,000 worlds, 1,000 worlds. Woo! Yeah. Okay. 1,000 worlds. Right in the middle of that, Mandy came in and turned the backing track down. She said, "It's too loud." And that made me, if you saw me smirking a bit, that's because it was just kind of comical to see her coming in, gesticulating to me. You can't see her. She was behind the camera. She was listening in another room, and she came rushing into it. That did feel a bit loud, actually. So I'll have to tone that down by a couple of 100 decibels. Well, that's all I got for you this week. That's 1,000 Worlds, a song from the Earthrise album, travelling 1,000 worlds, searching for only one. Never so far from your love that I just can't go on. Who wrote that stuff, eh? Who wrote that stuff? Okay, well look, it's been great to just chat with you tonight, give a few songs an airing. Leave me a message or send me a message. Let me know which ones worked, which one didn't. I can see that the backing was too loud on that one, but you may have some comments on the others that will be really helpful for next time. As you can probably tell, I'm doing this on a mobile phone, and I'm just using the speakers in the room back here from my recording gear back here. And there is a reason for that. The reason being that I'm not able technically to do it properly through a mixer. Yes, but I'm working on it, and one of these days I'll get it better balanced and better fidelity. But anyway, it's good fun just to give the songs an outing. Dave's Song Factory signing off for this week. We'll catch you next time. See you later.